What this is new information is going to come into, or come online as they're calling it now, and people are going to be tapping into that sacred divine energy, the sacred feminine energy of what has been repressed. Okay, so it's not the repression of the women, but it's the repression of the information that empowers the divine feminine energy. Hello, and welcome to the energy update for September. So I went into meditation and asked the angels what to expect in the month of September, and they kind of like gave me themes, and then I wrote them down. So I'm going to go into the themes and then see if there's any further information that they want to give. Okay? So the first one was divine feminine healing. Okay. So what they're telling me, the divine feminine healing, okay, ooh, all right. So it's coming to a head. Like it feels like it's just like this, like it is just contracting and it's getting harder and harder. And what's going to happen is they're showing me an explosion. Okay, like it's going to come to a head, and this doesn't mean that the divine feminine is going to take over the planet, because that would not be good. We need to have a balance, and it needs to be in harmony with the divine masculine. And yes, the masculine energy has been ruling the planet for a very long time, and the divine feminine has been coming up trying to work its way through. So what they're telling me is that this energy, it is going to be exploding, but in a good way. It's not that it's going to cause chaos, but it's going to shatter old constraints that have been placed on the feminine energy. And they're telling me that this isn't just about physical stuff. This isn't just about being repressed and not earning the same as a man in the workforce, and all. It's not woke. Okay, that's not what it is. What this is new information is going to come into, or come online as they're calling it now, and people are going to be tapping into that sacred divine energy, the sacred feminine energy of what has been repressed. Okay, so it's not the repression of the women, but it's the repression of the information that empowers the divine feminine energy. Okay, they're saying looking for numbers, looking for belief structures, looking for ancient texts of how to cultivate the divine feminine energy. So they're showing me like that is what's going to be coming through. Okay. Okay, so it says broken open, picking up the pieces and new understanding. So what they're telling me, okay, this was kind of like with the divine feminine, it's like breaking open, but this is more for our personal evolution here. Is if you haven't already been broken open and have moved through this, you will be. Either it's you're going through it now, you've already been through it, or you're going to be going through it in the future if your soul decides to move on to the higher frequency. It has to happen. It has to happen because we can't take all of the repression and the anger and the resentment and the trauma with us into a new frequency. So if you feel like your life has been broken open, that it needed to happen, okay? And once it's broken open, you can pick up the pieces of the things you want to take with you and leave behind things that you don't need anymore. Okay, so if your life is falling apart, it doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. It doesn't mean that you're always going to be in that space. It means that it's a new opportunity for you to be in your new energy, for you to show up differently, for you to see things differently, for you to do things differently. okay? But give yourself this grace period of being in this fragile state of being broken open. And it could be like your whole existence, everything that you thought you believed or that you believed, you may realize that it's all been a lie. And that can break somebody open, and that is kind of hard on the psyche. So just give yourself some grace if you're going through this period, because it's not easy to wake up at this time. There's a lot of things that are just one thing after another, after another, after another, and it can be a lot for a person to take. But you are capable of moving through it. So just pick up the pieces, move on with what you want to bring into your new way of being. Okay. New opportunities for some of you to advance. Okay. So this kind of piggybacks on that last message, that there's going to be opportunities for your soul to advance to the next level of frequency. And these opportunities to advance, it could look like a breakdown in your life. It could look like a relationship that has dissolved. It could look like you being let go from your job. It could even be a health issue. It could be a financial issue. Okay, so there's these opportunities that are happening that seem like they're bad, okay, but they're not. They're opportunities for you to let go of things that you don't know, that you don't need anymore, but also to learn things about yourself. What is your belief about them? How do I feel about this? What is my perception about this? And it's giving you the opportunity to rise into the next level of frequency. Okay. And if you feel like you have no idea what is happening right now, what this message means, you will. There's going to be new opportunities there consistently for the next few years for your soul to wake up, for your soul to move through a lot of the turmoil. And even for people that have been awake for a while, that understand the way the world is working right now, that sees things differently than most people, there's new opportunities for you as well. Okay. And understand that as this awakening process, it's not always joy. It's not always unicorns. It's not always rainbows. It's uncovering the underbelly of yourself, okay, and what's in there, and moving that out. So whatever's happening out in the world, that's happening too. It's getting into the underbelly of all of the darkness that has been here on the planet, but we're doing that also within ourselves. Okay. Okay, here's another one. Moving out of victimhood. Okay, so for a long time, people have played the victim role, and it's because they were taught to believe that they are a victim, that they need somebody else to do things for them, or they have actions that they're doing, but they think they're the victim. Okay, what we're doing is we're moving out of victimhood. So what that means is that the people or the perpetrators in your life, but also on a grander scale, they will not be able to continue to do what they are doing anymore, because the people that have been feeling like a victim are going to be standing up for themselves. So if you feel like this courage or this like fire within you, it's like no more, and you start standing up for yourself, that's what they're talking about, is that you don't have to be on the receiving end of somebody else's abuse. So you are going to be stepping into your empowerment and moving out of that role of victimhood. Now, on another note, they are also saying that there's many people that they feel helpless because of all this that stuff that's happening in the world. It's like, well, what can I do? I'm only one person. Okay. And everybody thinks that. What can I do? I'm only one person. So first of all, your energy, the best thing that you can do is to take care of yourself, to rest when you're tired, to eat when you're hungry, to say no to social obligations if you don't want to do it, to get out of situations that don't make you feel good, to let go of relationships that aren't of the highest caliber for you. You know, it's like you have the ability to do that now. And that's what they want you to do. They want you to start taking care of yourself. Because the more that you take care of yourself, the clearer your field is. And the clearer your field is, the more ideas you are going to have to help build the new earth. You know, you may have an idea about starting a nonprofit for something, or go into business with somebody about, animals helping to soothe people with emotional trauma. You know, there's so many things, like the ideas are all out here, but you have to be a recipient to receive those ideas. And the way to do that is to eliminate, well, not eliminate, but, try and get rid of the chaos in your life. Don't engage in the drama. You don't have to be on the recipient end of abuse. Letting all of that stuff go and becoming a clearer channel for ideas. So that's where humanity is moving into. There are so many things coming up that people are doing that is really helping the planet, that's helping humanity. And it's about getting out of the me versus them, and, just badgering people for not believing the same thing that you do. It's about letting that go and bringing the focus back here. What can I do? And that's going to be coming up more often. Okay. Okay, here's the other thing, is like people are going to be moving out of the drama and chaos. So when you move out of this drama and chaos of the me versus them, and just getting caught up in all of that, when you pull yourself out of there, your life can seem boring, and what that is, your life is not boring. That is peace. So it's okay if you're bored right now. It's okay if your life seems boring. Be with that. Be with that inner peace, okay? Because if you find yourself being attracted to that drama, that's an adrenaline rush that your nervous system craves. Okay, so the more drama you're in, it's like an addiction. Okay, but what's happening with our frequency as it starts to rise, we are not in that frequency of being addicted to that chaos. And it's kind of like we're floating above that chaos, but we're not in the chaos, and we're feeling maybe a little peaceful. And people may think that they're bored, but that's what peace feels like. So the more that you can be in that peaceful state, that boredom state, just ask, what is it that I need to know? Sit with your emotions, sit with your thoughts, and see what comes up. And if you're anxious about it, just ask, why am I anxious? You're anxious because you're not getting that fix from that chaos. It's kind of like a detox. Okay, so you may feel like you're detoxing from chaotic energy, and it can feel uncomfortable and it can feel foreign. But if you have like these bouts of feeling peaceful, that's okay. That's where we're headed. And if it's just a fleeting moment, that's okay. It's going to start building more and more. So the more that you remove yourself from the chaos, the more peace you're going to feel. Okay. New feelings of joy and happiness. Okay, so I just read the next one. Okay. And the tremendous opportunity for growth. I think we talked about that. And okay, so the last thing that they talked about was you might find yourself in a deeper polarity with things, where the people that you once saw eye to eye with, you're going to find that you just don't anymore. And that's been happening for a while. But what we're going to be witnessing, if you haven't already, and this is how they talk about the splitting of the two earths, we're doing it right now. So what this means is that we're all living on the same planet, but the frequencies are different on the planet. So you could be joyful and happy and having a great day and knowing that everything is working out the way it's supposed to. You're in your flow, whatever that is, and you see that things are all working out. And you come to another person and they have a completely different view of the world, of themselves, of feeling like they're the victim. And it's going to be so strong, like the polarity is going to be so obvious that you're going to be like, wow, how can that person even think this? And they're going to be thinking, how can that person even think this? And that is the polarity of the two earths. That's what they're talking about. And it's happening more and more. So if you feel that you just are not connecting with the people that you used to, that you don't think the same way they do, it's okay. You don't need to change their mind. You don't need to make them wrong, because they're not wrong. That's their view. Just like you're not wrong. That's your view. Okay? Everyone has their own personal journey. But the more that you allow other people to be in the state that they're in, and you keep your side of the street clean, and you move forward with this energy, you're going to start attracting more people with that same frequency as you are. And soon, like sooner than we think, all of this outer chaos isn't going to be part of our lives. Okay, it still may be happening, but it's not going to be affecting you. It's not going to be getting into your energy field and bringing you down. It's something that you observe, and eventually it won't be around anymore. So if you find yourself pulling out of the chaos, that's actually a really good thing. Okay, so those were the messages for September. I hope you have a wonderful month. Keep being you, keep doing you, keep shining your light, and thank you for being here.